And let's get more from American political strategist now. It's Erol Morkoc. Erol, thank you very much for joining us this morning. How do you think this meeting is going to go?
Well, I think it's going to go at least in the right direction. There's still quite a lot of discussions to be made, but I think it's a really good sign. And it shows that this is, well, a private trip, also a working trip, and something that Donald Trump has never really turned off. He's always turned on. He's always engaged. And the fact that he's going to sit down and talk to Miss van der Leyen, I think that's fantastic. And, you know, his 50-50, I guess, ratio he gave for odds of the trade deal success, I mean, that's not awful odds considering it's Donald Trump. So I think it's going to be something that's positive for Europe as a whole, and by default, the UK tangentially connected to that. But overall, I think it's a good sign that they're talking, that they're moving in the right direction, and the trade deal is, when it is finally made, will be the biggest trade deal of any of the trade deals that Trump has signed. So it means a lot to President Trump as well. This is a good opportunity for anybody to take advantage of his goodwill, his good attitude, and being at his club and his golf courses. And perhaps this would be a great way to use soft power diplomacy with Mr. Trump, President Trump, to get what they want or get closer to a working agreement.
I mean, he's always made it clear he's no fan of the EU. Does that give him at least the possibility to really play hardball here?
Oh, absolutely, and the fact that he's a one-term president, he doesn't really have anything to. Well, he can play all the way to the whistle. He doesn't have any more political capital to lose at the end of this. This is the way the system works. He's not a fan of the EU. He's never been a fan of the EU. He dislikes how they've treated American companies, whether that be in our agriculture sector, specifically our farmers, or some of our automobile companies. These are the votes that he got, especially from the working class union voters in places like Michigan, where these cars are made. So certainly he's had a lot of problems with the EU, and he's willing to go all the way to the end and push to the end because that's what the people who elected him to do asked him to do. And so incumbent upon that, I expect him to play as hardball as he can.
And Errol, obviously we have meetings between Trump and Keir Starmer going on as well. Also, trade tariffs will be the head of that conversation. How do you think that's going to play out for the UK? Do you think Trump, because he's over here playing golf, will be feeling more warm towards this country rather than the EU?
Look, I think it's really important to take advantage of the fact that might be the possibility. It might be as simple as taking advantage of the goodwill of a president who is a traditional Anglophile, somebody who believes in that special relationship, like personally, deeply inside of his sort of personal constitution, how he's expressed himself, the fact that he's invested his money in the UK. When he bought Turnberry, for example, for 40 million, he put 100 million of his company's money into it and really revitalized a historic British course. Something as simple as the RNA in Scotland giving the British Open back to Turnberry. I mean, as small and petty as it sounds, these are the kind of small, easy wins that the UK can use to bolster enclaves of special consideration in this upcoming trade deal, whether that is for the Scottish whiskey industry or whether that might be for British energy or British vehicles being exported to the US. There's a lot of things to work with, and take advantage of a president who has a natural goodwill. He's not concerned about the protests. He's not concerned about the naysayers. He really does love the UK, and I think it would be incumbent upon your leaders to have a fiduciary responsibility to their constituents to take advantage of this situation and get the best deal out of President Trump while he's perhaps in a good mood or more vulnerable in a certain respect.
Just a final thought, Errol, because when he landed yesterday, he was making comments about the migration problem here in the UK. And then we've had these announcements today from the Home Office, which I mean, seem quite extraordinary, really. Just saying it's, they're going to have a police unit to monitor what Brits are saying online about migration. Do you think he might get involved in that? I mean, the Tories are already saying, the government's just tinkering around the edges of all of this. Might he sort of stick his nose into this issue a bit more?
I think so. I think definitely. I mean, he feels very strongly about every country having national sovereignty, borders being the foundation of that, and he sees Europe, and in his eyes, and many of his supporters, kind of losing its path in terms of that concept of national sovereignty, and in terms of ideas like free speech. That's an issue that actually might be a problem for this trade deal, as Donald Trump has brought up previously. The fact that there are some, situations in the UK where we feel that maybe free speech isn't a shared value in certain respects, and that's something that could reflect itself in trade deals. Now, when it looks at the immigration, Trump, he's already weighed into it. He's going to continue weighing into it. He thinks that illegal immigration should be stopped. People who break the law should be deported. And if that's not being done, he doesn't understand what the leadership is doing for the people in that country. And I think that's the disconnect he has with the current European leadership, and something that he's looking to ameliorate in any way he can while he's in town.
OK. Erol Morkoc, good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
OK, well, let's have a look at some of the other